happening? Got this these hand techniques where you can learn how to make your hand more it's like your hand's got a lot more grip in it than most people are aware of. And this is one of the ways you unlock them. You learn how to twirl things like this. It's like basically the same thing as the two balls that you hold, the bells, the chimes, or whatever. I used two of those green, I think they're chestnuts that fall off the trees and work good. 2 stones, or you know, something like this pencil. Whoa, that happens every so often because it's an uncomfortable grip. It's very loose. Oh, and fluid. So that's one of the weaknesses of practicing things like this, like having a loose, flippy grip, is that you can easily get something tipped out of your hand. Comes from me being a knife thrower. You hold it like that, look how loose that is. So I mean, it's real easy to tip it. That's the only weakness in that particular style. But this is how you start. See, I got one pinky holding it. Now this finger's holding it. Now that finger's holding it. Now that one. Now this one. Then you slide them around. Catch it again. Bam, bam. See, I can already feel the tendons right here really tight and tensing up. See, yeah, look. This isn't a knife fight maneuver. You know what I'm saying? This is just a training maneuver. Or if you're into deception, okay? Because look, here, you can hide it as you're approaching, and then you can discreetly flip it. Point up, point in, point out. But you see that? See how I got stuck here? That's bad. You don't really want that. I guess you could come through like that, but so you really got to play with it a lot. It's basically this motion right here. Watch. This is one of the things that, you know, I got another video where I showed you these fucking hand maneuvers. That's how they that's how you get a sleight of hand and dexterity.
Got the old Milwaukee.
The old mill honky.
Old mill honky.
Yeah, like I said, if you were gonna apply this, it'd be like, you know, like
Knife fight?
No, like prison. Like you wouldn't want to do it in a knife fight. You'd want to do it in an assassination, where the person doesn't see you coming. It's the only place it applies. So I think flashy movement should be avoided in real situations because they're not practical, and they're just not worth it. Why? You know, sometimes little is more. Sometimes more is less.
Sometimes little is less.
Sometimes little is less, yes. It just depends on the situation. You gotta just know the difference. This is... Ooh. Shit flying at me. You can do it. There's different ways too. And you can reverse the... reverse the direction. Oh, my shit's all tired now. Switch hands. I call this the water grip, because it's constantly flowing and moving. Not very practical, but it's not bad to be able to do. For training's sake. Just, I mean, look, to explore the limitations of your own body. You got to push it to the point where it falls. Then you must endure and start again. Go back to center. Start again until you can do it blindfolded, basically. Drunk, blindfolded, missing an arm, bleeding to death. Then you've mastered your craft, whatever, your discipline or creed that you're into. I mean, personally, I'm just into martial arts, so anything that has a martial application or it's practical to know, just in case you need it. It's like there's the old proverb, I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it, man. I mean, anyone who thinks contrary to that is acting contrary to self self-preservation, okay? And not even just self-preservation, mutual preservation. Because the stronger everyone is as a whole, the better for everyone it should be. I mean, in a perfect world. We know this is not a perfect world by any means. Or all this stuff right here would be... Why? Beat your swords into plowshares and your spears into pruning hooks, basically. But it's not the world we live in. We live in a very backwards, sick society, full of fear. That's one of the reasons why you practice a martial art. It's not for... Some people may practice it for a predator dominating spirit, which is totally contrary to truly what it stands for. It's like, you know, what did they say? That God created men, but Sam Colt created men, or made men equals. I mean, that's the truth. This is the world. That's the truth. This is the world we live in. It's predator and prey. It truly is. But if you know, the rabbit hunting ain't no fun when the rabbit's got the gun. And look, that's why they want you to be a sissy. That's why they don't. That's why they're gonna tell you, this is a bad guy right here. This guy's a danger, a threat. I ain't no threat. I mean, I'm only a threat to ignorance. You know what I'm saying? And then lack of self-confidence. Because, I mean, that's all I'm really doing is building a platform to become a better person than I was yesterday. I mean, but hey, I could at any moment deviate from that course. For whatever reasons. As if it's an emotional breakdown, if it's a circumstantial, somebody does something that hurts, you know, and then you feel like you got to take it into your own hands to make it right, or you have a momentary lapse of judgment. It happens. We're all human. We all have similar things. I mean, unless you're a psychopath, sociopath, then people enjoy everything that we consider morality, immorality. Everything is okay for people on that thing. I mean, look, I have a line, a certain line I will not cross. You know what I'm saying? Do I get close to that line sometimes? Of course, man. I'm a human. I'm a man. I like to test myself. You know what I'm saying? And plus, I don't agree with everything that has been imposed on me. You know what I'm saying? Nowhere did I agree to a lot of these things. You know what I'm saying? That you're in contract with just by your... what's the word I'm looking for here? By your non-verbal compliance, man. I mean, just the fact that you comply, it's a contract with these people that impose these, you know, this corrupt stuff on us. Anyway, dude, so a lot of that stuff is boof. You know what I'm saying? Just like, look, you know, use your judgment when you do things. Don't get too crazy. Don't go looking for trouble. You ain't got to go looking for trouble. There's plenty of it in the world. So you don't have to look for it. It'll find you. But if you know, if you're violent, if you're, you know, aggressive, you got to do something to get it out of your system. You got to scratch that itch. You know what I'm saying? So training is a good way to do it. But do not train if you don't have a certain amount of self-control. And there's that line. If you can't not cross the certain line, maybe you know, you should do some soul searching. But anyway, appreciate you. Holla, bait.